Hey everyone, my name is Simpsy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Hearts of Iron 4 Road to 56 mod here today on the channel. We're going to be starting a new game as the United Kingdom. We're going to be doing a democratic run this playthrough, and we're going to be firmly staying with the Allies, whatever happens on the continent. Let's get things underway. We want to try and bring in Winston Churchill as quick as we can. Okay, so the Allies can be sometimes a little bit of a boring run because you do have to be quite passive, build up your production, and wait to see what happens on the continent. However, we are using, of course, unhistorical focuses, so anything can happen on the European continent. So we obviously have the British Empire. Now I reckon we're probably going to decolonize most of it, I would imagine, if we are going to be loyal with the Americans. That's one of their conditions. So let's create a intelligence agency. Let's get MI5 nice and early. Let's go into construction 1 and basic machine tools. I just want to get things early off and running. We'll get the flamethrower as well, and maybe combat service support as well. We do want to try and get plenty trucks to help our mechanized forces. We could go down a main sort of armament thrust. We'll just have to see. We want to try and get a bunch of construction underway as well. Mostly rifles, but we might just leave our production at the moment. We obviously want to rule the waves and have a large navy to combat any enemy threat. It's vital if you're playing as the Allies to have a huge navy. You can really hold off the AI quite a bit, and there's a massive tech tree to go down. I think increasing our civilian capacity is probably our best bet, but I'm curious to see how the French, the Germans, and the Soviet Union goes in this run, with Stanley Baldwin in charge for now. Unfortunately, King George V has now died. May he rest in peace. Edward is now in charge. Uh-oh. Okay, trade-wise, we're doing fine. We're also repairing some territory in Egypt. Our production has slightly changed. We do have one tank brigade and motorized division coming along. Our logistics isn't terrible, but we'll get that underway. 36 divisions, just under 300 battalions as well, mostly made up of infantry. We're going to try and focus on infantry throughout this game. But June 1936, at the moment our trade is fine as no wars have broken out. The Allies don't tend to have a resource problem. They do tend to control most of the rubber, but we will have to keep a watchful eye on our overseas territory. And, of course, what happens to the Netherlands as well. Steady as we go. We've got a bunch of air wings. Decent navy as well. We're currently training them and running exercises in the North Sea and the English Channel. Okay, so we're going to try and form an alliance with the French. The earlier we can do that, the better. Stanley has sent diplomats to Paris, and we're going to see what the French have to say. The Spanish Civil War has now erupted, so we could probably send some troops potentially to the democratic side, which unfortunately does have more communist leanings. Seems like communism is growing in France as well. Oh, and it looks like the German Empire is now back. Looks like they're going down the Kaiser route. And France is now officially in the Allies. They've made an alliance with Bulgaria, which is interesting. FDR is now in charge. We've got to be careful that the French could take over the faction. Oh, what's this? No Hirohito in Japan as well. Okay, I wonder what path they're going down. So if they're going non-aligned imperial or monarchical or monarchy, that could be a bit of a problem. I'm sure the Kaiser... Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the Kaiser and the English monarchy, Edward is they're probably related, to be honest. Oh no, Elizabeth's father's now in charge. Okay, well let's wait and see. March 1937 now. Small little skirmish on the Baltic. Sweden and Poland have a non-aggression pact with Germany. But I have a bad feeling with the French. Although they're in the Allies, it looks like they're probably going to join the Soviet Union and their Comintern. Yeah, look at this. And they've just sent a message to the UK asking to leave as a communist party's now in charge. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so this might be a little bit strange. We're obviously going to be backing various factions in Europe that are democratic. But yeah, if Germany and the Kaiser invade France, it's probably going to bring in the Soviet Union. What's going on here in China? A little bit of skirmishing. It doesn't look like they're going down peaceful. Japan, I don't know what they're doing exactly. Brazil has gone fascist, so they're probably going to join with Italy if they remain the same. But at the moment... Oh, we're still waiting, but Poland has had a civil war. This is going to be interesting. So Romania is backing West Poland. And the Polish Peasant Union is probably the one we're going to be backing. Alright. We'll see if this expands the conflict. It's not the USSR or Germany going into Poland just yet, which can sometimes bring us in. It's this civil war. Also, the Spanish Civil War seems to be going a lot longer as well. And we've got some small spot fires here throughout the South American continent. But yeah, no, this is ravaging the Iberian Peninsula into 4 factions fighting for dominion of Spain. We obviously hold Gibraltar in the south, and you would imagine we've still got our alliance with Portugal, so the only way we would get involved in Iberia would be potentially them getting war decked. But at the moment, running a lot of drills, got radar support. Oh, and Neville Chamberlain's now in as well. Nice, Stanley Baldwin is out, so we want to try and get the appeaser out as quickly as possible and bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Winston Churchill. Yes. Alright, so it looks like Italy is going down Rome protocols, which is... I don't know. Might not necessarily be a bad thing. Especially if the Kaiser's going down a different path as well. Okay. Oh wow, there's been a coup in Portugal. Interesting. We're increasing our armor, artillery as well. And we're going down dispersed. Okay, so... democratic. I think that's okay, but still mostly communist. So, Italy has actually brought in Austria and Hungary. That's concerning. So, we've got the oh no, they are, okay. Portugal's at war. Wait, what, why? They're actually at war with Spain. I guess they're non-aligned authoritarian, what? Maybe the government changed. I only bring up the Anglo-Portuguese alliance because I just think it's quite funny that even historically, when Britain went to war with the Argentina junta in the Falklands, Portugal offered military support from an alliance, a marriage alliance in the 1300s. I'm pretty sure England and Portugal have the longest alliance in the world. Okay, going with air rearmament now. But things are starting to hotten up a bit. Uruguay is now at war with Brazil. Now with the French turning towards Moscow, typical. They are untrustworthy now, I suppose. We're currently building civilian factories in the Greater London area. And a military factory in Yorkshire as well. Air Force and naval supremacy is what we're working on. And the UK is also getting more infantry in London as well. Nearly about to switch over that deficit. We're going to need it if a war breaks out. As we're now in March 1938. There is still peace for now. Relatively on the European continent between the main powers, not including Spain. Oh, here we go. Italy just declared war upon the French Commune. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. They kind of threw. We're not going to get involved, I guess. Oh, man. If they just stayed in the Allies, it would have been okay. So, does that mean... So, Austria, Uruguay, weird. Hungary and Italy are at war with France. I wonder if Germany will use this as an opportunity to go in. So, it looks like there's going to be fighting on the southern French border. Manchuria is at war with Japan, and there's been a civil war in the USSR. You've got to be kidding me. Oh my god. I swear every time you go unaligned, there's always a crazy civil war. So what have we got? Stalin and Georgie. Okay. So not Zhukov, which can sometimes happen. Where's it spawned? Okay. And then... Wait, what? Why are China fighting Manchuria? Oh, I haven't seen this in a while. What is this faction? Dadong Yagong. Okay. So they don't even have to conquer China. They've just they've just made a faction together. Oh no. Well, that's not good. At least they didn't join Rome Protocol somehow. So Japan and China have united in the east. We're obviously a part of the Allies. Oh my god, Rome Protocol. Oh wow. They have just hoovered up all that North African territory. Oh no. The French and their colonial holdings have capitulated. We've got to watch out for the Raj as well. But Neville Chamberlain, sitting back. We're still building up. He switched to early mobilization though. But for now, the UK, the Allies, the US hasn't joined us yet, are watching Europe balloon into flames. The French seem to be holding in Europe though, and they might have even pushed slightly. Germany's yet to do anything. But wars are breaking out a little bit early in this campaign. The French Commune and Italy just trading at the moment. I wonder if Germany will be potentially passive and peaceful. Oh, interesting. Wait, they won. Oh, wow. He got deposed. We are not the USSR anymore, comrades. We are the SSSR. What? SS? Yes. Okay. Oh, got some calculating there. What was that? Oh, they're nearly winning. Alright, the UK is going to increase their Special Air Force service, but that war in the USSR quickly wrapped up. Interesting. January now, 1939. We're sort of preparing for, well, the inevitable. George is now currently the head of the monarchy. Okay, Portugal. Oh, so... Wait, what? So the major Spanish faction, the Spanish Commune, they didn't join them. Okay. They made an alliance with the other faction. Interesting. We're currently building up our military capacity as well. And we've also commissioned a naval base be built on the Shetland Islands. We currently have 61 infantry divisions. We're expanding our military, navy, and air force, of course. But we have yet to lose a single British soldier or volunteer. As the SSSR are now at war with Japan and China. Like, what? Oh, it's because they won against Manchuria. Now they're pushing up there. Wow. I have not seen this faction before. Have you guys seen this? The Dong You Gone Wrong Quan. I've never seen Japan unite all of China so quickly. It's like, why are we fighting? We can just, like, take out Eastern Russia. Okay. Thank God we're not fighting up there. That's an attrition hellscape there. So Brazil is fighting on side of the French there. It seems like the Europeans are fighting amongst themselves, savages. Okay. And we're just sitting back here. Unfortunately, we did lose Northern Ireland there in a compromise, but that's okay. Potentially, we might be able to bring them in. Oh, wow. Yugoslavia is in the French faction there. Okay, that's going to compromise Hungary and Austria. However, the Germans are still hanging on. But France is doing quite well. So, I guess if they're going to go communist and not join with us, they seem to be holding quite well in their own independent faction. We do have a small amount of communism growing. But, hopefully that's nothing to worry about. Yeah, the Tsardom of Bulgaria. They're in a faction together. Okay. Those trains are being complete. They are losing in Africa quite bad. That means their resource capacity is not going to be good. They did somehow bring in Yugoslavia, which is not a bad play. Trying to tie down and waste territory there in the Balkans is not a bad idea. They still haven't pushed an inch in southern France by the look of it. Most of the allies are firmly with us as well. That might change once we bring the US involved and have to decolonize, but we'll see how we go. Most of Eastern Europe, Greece and Turkey haven't picked a side either. But that's not good there in Eastern Siberia. Kingdom of Netherlands has joined Rome Protocol. That's really bad. Wait, China's now involved? How? Okay. Oh, because I think the Netherlands came in? Oh, here we go. We might be at war soon, actually. China has war goals against us. That's bad, because they seem to be doing quite well. They might actually... Japan, China, and Russia might unite. Oh, wow, look at this. Wait, the communist Spain joined France. Oh, so it did join them in the end. Looks like they opted for the other Spanish faction in the end. This is a crazy run, I'm not even gonna lie. Do I swip to communist? Communist Britain? It's maybe. I did say I wanted to do a, regardless of what happens on the continent, I want to be Democratic Conservative Party. Bring in Winston Churchill. Bring in someone like Boris Johnson. Because at the moment, I don't think it's too bad for the Allies that we're letting 4 factions battle it out, and then we'll eventually see who's the weakest and pick a side. But at the moment, it looks like all of these factions are vying for power. But they're doing quite well in Siberia there. It does look like the Spanish and the French alliance are about to throw them out in Portugal. After losing in Africa, though. Germany still is neutral. Yeah, so they're democratic, but they joined the Italians. That's rather annoying. It hasn't hampered our rubber capacity because we haven't picked a side, but it could do. British Australia, India just chilling as well, but France is now lost in the Balkans by the look of it. Okay, they still have Königsberg, and MI5 is still operating in Paris. Mongolia is now in, but it looks like there's about to be peace on the Iberian Peninsula as the Spanish and the French forces throw them out, and Britain is going with rule the waves as well to increase our navy efficiency. Rome Protocol's pretty strong. Balkans and surprisingly the Netherlands in the alliance. Okay, so we've offered a garrison to Romania. So we are now currently guaranteeing their independence, along with Poland. I wonder if that's going to bite us now. It's April 1940. Our army's ballooned quite a bit. Million men dead in the Chinese-Soviet War that the Italians have come in. And now this is a 3 million balloon here into this one. Interesting. I wonder who's going to win this out in the end. Another faction has emerged. What's this? The Kingdom of Romania has joined the Rome Protocols. Oh, okay. Even though we were guaranteeing them. But the Germans have made a decision now, though. They are going to go after the French. Oh! I wonder if the Central Powers and the Rome Protocol are going to battle it out. It is like monarchy versus fascism in the end. Oh, okay. So the French might have just been done in then. The Germans have been sitting there with the Kaiser and about to get pushed on the Maginot Line. Yeah, I think just those resources they've lost in Africa is going to turn them. However, there is Spanish support, so the Rome Protocols, the Italians, the Germans, most of Central Europe is going to go against the Spanish and French pact, while the Allied forces are waiting by. As obviously we're not authoritarian, fascist or communist, we can't outright war deck people. We only can guarantee and go down the various path of European nation-state protectorism. We're going to embargo Germany because of their war on France. Although we don't want a land grab over there. We're going to still embargo Germany. Even if the French are commies. Oh, Monaco. I always forget that that's a faction in Hearts of Iron. Like, it's so small there. And after 3 years of fighting on the southern French border, the Italians have stormed into Nice after German pressure on the Maginot Line. Like, the papacy isn't there. Neville Chamberlain sitting back. The appeaser doing what he does best. Motion of no confidence. Winston's now in. Yes. You've allowed the German Kaiser to come back. For round 2. Electric Boogaloo. Didn't we do that in the first? We don't have a second sequel. A sequel? The French are holding on, though, a lot longer than probably would be with the Allies. I'm just curious to see what the States do. Hopefully they just stay with us, to be honest. But I know what you mean. I read comments. It's like, Allies are boring. Playing as the good guys. Sitting back. Making sure your production is at peak efficiency. Building up. Because production wins wars. We're still holding a decent chunk of the African territory. But now I'm curious to see who's going to win this one. Hopefully it's the Allies. The Italians have moved into Montpellier. But it looks like France and Spain are probably going to be divided between the Germans and the Italians, which is not good. But hopefully they attack each other and we pick a side in the end. The Soviet Civil War ended quite quickly, so they might actually go against them. But they're getting pushed by the Japanese and the Chinese there. Oh, Argentina's now involved. Speaking of the Falklands, here they are. Got to be pretty careful of our islands off in the middle of nowhere. Especially now that there's a junta in Argentina. Oh, wow. I absolutely hate fighting in that eastern part of Siberia and China. Told you. Okay. Interesting path. Yeah, they must have came to some sort of agreement. Yeah, I've never seen this. Oh, here we go. Massive blitzkrieg into Andorra. Oh, and Paris is about to fall to the Germans. And it has. The Central Powers are back, baby. Oh, wow. Oh, here we go. So, a bunch of these former French colonies, by the look of it, have joined us. Yeah, Republic of Syria, Venezuela. That's not a former French colony. Italy took 70 states. Somehow Denmark joined the Allies. Mostly Rome protocols, Commonwealth ties. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess it was the Italian War. The Germans came in at the end. So, it's essentially a Axis. So we've got some member states with us. Interesting, Madagascar got liberated. We can invite some factions in. Might be a good idea to do so. Well, now with that wrapped up, I imagine war is going to be inevitable between the Rome protocols or potentially the Central Powers. Maybe let me know who we can declare war on. We can invite Czechoslovakia, potentially Poland as well. But, unfortunately on that note, February 1941, got to wind things down here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed episode 1 of the Hearts of Iron 4 Road to 56 mod United Kingdom campaign. And Brazil joins the China-Japan Pact. What? Okay. Looks like Mexico's joined the Allies as well. That's pretty good. But yeah, stay tuned for episode 2 coming out soon. If you like what you see, support it and I'll do more. Check out the videos on screen if you want to see more from me. But make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simsy, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.